Okay, guys, so this is part 3 of Sue's story. Just to want to let you know that I'm doing a whole playlist now dedicated to people who want to tell their stories of surviving narcissistic abuse. It'll be called the Survivor Series. So, if you want to share your story, please, go back and look at the comments. You'll see how these people are healing immediately. By telling your story, guys, it creates immediate healing. By being courageous, just watch once we get through her emails here. You're going to see how already it opened things up for her and how already it's propelling her and opening doors for her healing that she's been waiting on for years. So it's very important, guys, to be courageous and tell our stories. But okay, so this is part 3, Sue, of your video series here. Again, thank you so much for sharing. These things resonate. Those of us who have suffered narcissistic abuse, even those who haven't directly suffered, we're all suffering. Because again, this whole matrix system with work and government and the propaganda and the programming and the cultural constructs and the social hierarchies that we live in, and the entertainment and the education system and in the work system and in the fake monetary system, all of these things are abuse. So we've all suffered. We're all named, numbered, and cataloged into these systems, guys. That is why it is important that we all understand and see our innate connection to each other. That every single one of us are eternal, all-powerful, all-knowing, empathic souls connected to everybody else on that level, on that soul level, occupying the most advanced biological thing on this earth that is connected to everything biologically. So not only are we connected spiritually in that plane of existence, but we are also connected biologically. And what this matrix has done is it's severed that connection. It's told us that we're nothing and that we need to work and make money and that we need shelter and we need food and we need a balanced diet and we need nutrition and we need experts and we need education and we need a government and we need a police force and we need all of these things that are completely unnatural. And so what the Matrix has done is we have been, for generations, our families have grown up in non-conducive environments, social structures, and cultural constructs to biological life. These things are non-conducive, guys. We have all been surviving our whole lives. And by speaking our truth, the Matrix hates the truth. It wants us to go along to get along. It wants us to, win in Rome. It wants us to, everybody else does it. It wants us to, that's the law. It wants us to, hey, how else are you going to live? It wants us to do all those things. Those are all programs within the matrix that keeps us enslaved. We need to break free. We need to realize who we are at our essence, and we need to accept that, and we need to say, okay, now what does an eternal soul occupying the most advanced biological thing on this earth, what is their responsibility to themselves, first of all? And then it needs to do that, and we need to heal. We need to heal ourselves, guys. So yeah, please be courageous. I hope, Sue, you inspire, and I'm sure you're going to inspire more people to be courageous when they see your story. But to be honest, okay, so continuing her email. But to be honest, he brainwashed me against my family, and he's done the same to them. He painted me out as a money grabber who tried to sell the house. He told the kids that me and my solicitors were going to force the sale of the house and they'd have to move out. The kids even turned up one day at my mom's house while I was living there through the divorce with a copy of my solicitor's letter and demanded to know why. Yeah, disgusting, man. He put them up to it, of course. He got them involved in the divorce from day one, especially my oldest. And like I say, my son treated me horrible and was so very disrespectful towards me. I'm so sorry you went through that, Sue. The pain that causes is unbelievable. And look at that trauma bond you have to him, because even though your son treated you that bad, you still have been crying over him for the past couple of years. You've still been emotionally attached to him over the past couple. You need to cut that, Sue. You need to cut that immediately for yourself. In the reality, you'll be amazed when you do how much strength that gives you, how much energy that gives back to your life, how much of that changes your perspective and your outlook on things, how much that clears the fog, how much healing that's going to open up for you when you sever that connection to your abusive narcissistic children. And the reality was, the ex basically wanted to give me a pittance for my half of the family home, but my solicitor said I should get more. He bought me out of the house, and I've ended up getting a mortgage-free house. If you're saying that you got a, man, that's awesome. If you got a mortgage-free house, that means you're staying somewhere and all you're doing is paying taxes. Kudos to you. If that's what you're saying, I'm not sure. So the kids stayed in the house with him. I had to leave. He forced me out of the house with his verbal abuse, etc. I left with nothing. I had no money, no savings, no job. I'd given up the cleaning the year before. I had to live with my mom. Oh, never mind. Sorry. No, that's not what you're saying. I'm sorry. I don't know what you mean by you ended up getting a mortgage-free house. I had no money, no savings, no job. I'd given up the cleaning the year before, and I had to live with my mom at age 52. That's okay. We're survivors, Sue. We do what we have to do. We do what we have to do. And there's nothing to be ashamed of, and you're figuring things out. That's all that matters. And you're slowly breaking away and getting away from this stuff. But I'm much happier now, and I can do what I want and not be criticized all the time and be called names. Yeah, I bet that feels a lot better. But I'm not totally happy because of the kids. It's like there's a final piece missing in my life now, and like I can't truly be happy until they come back to me. It's not that. They're not the missing piece. You're the missing piece. You are the missing piece. You are all you need, Sue. It is not your kids. Cut that attachment. Family is a structure. You had sex with your husband and they came to be into existence. That's all they are to you anymore. Until they come on their knees and apologize and recompense, that is all they are. You have to let them go because they are leeches now. They are just like your husband. They're sucking all that energy out of you. And they are a blockage to your healing. You will not be able to heal as long as you are in sorrow and emotionally and spiritually and maternally attached to them anymore. You have to cut that off. Now you can still have that desire to have them back and all that, that's fine. But as far as it affecting your emotions and sending you into a tizzy and fucking with your head and making you emotional, that's got to go. That's got to be cut immediately. I've been thinking maybe I need to speak to a counselor about it because I just can't get over it. Yeah, and that's good. Speak to a counselor. You just got to be careful. Look, you got to be careful, guys, when you go and speak to these counselors because these counselors are narcissistic themselves. I'll tell you what the best thing to do. If you want to see a counselor, the best thing to do would be go on and watch Patrick T. Hand, watch some of these people on YouTube, these psychologists on YouTube, because it's free, first of all. And they're usually spot on. They're actually helping people. Whereas you go to a state-ran psychologist, somebody who's got a practice somewhere, not only are you paying them fucking $300 a goddamn hour to just listen to you fucking go in circles and talk about your shit and not get anywhere with it, but to find a good one, out of those psychologists, those people who help you out and figure out your shit, man, good luck finding a good one that's actually you're gonna get anywhere with. I mean, people go to these fuckers for decades, and it's just a healing trap. That's what I'm saying. Like everything outside of you is a healing. You have the power to heal. If you need to start figuring these things out, go online. Go to these YouTube sites of these other psychs that are helping people get through their childhood trauma and abuse. In their abuse period, in narcissistic abuse. You will learn more in there in 2 hours watching that than you will have paying thousands and thousands of dollars over months to a fucking shrink somewhere that's going to just sit there in a chair and go, and then what happened? And tell me what happened after that. I'm telling you guys, you might get lucky. You might walk into somebody's office and just so happen it's a counselor that actually cares about people and is going to, give you some right tips on how to get over these things and how to process them and how to deal with them. But again, you got to remember, whoever you go to is stuck in the matrix system. So they're coming from a place of narcissism and ego themselves. You got to keep that in mind, guys. And you just got to recognize who you are. I mean, you made it through almost 4 decades of this. You can figure this out. It's just accepting. You have to be courageous and accept what things are. Recognize and accept. Go back, Sue, and watch my series on how to heal, on the fundamental foundations for freedom series that I started on this channel. That tells you exactly how to do it. And all of those steps are necessary. And between that series and this, this should be exactly what you need to see. Watch the other series that I started on, the children, Healing with Children series. These are the things that you need. All you need is we need to come out from under the illusion, under the hoodwinking, under the bamboozlement of this matrix system. That's what we need to do. And if we just run to shrinks, run to doctors, run to these people, run to those people, they give us band-aids for broken legs, guys. They're not doing anything to heal us. They're just giving us band-aids for broken legs. They make money off of us. Their job is not to heal us. It's to fucking treat our symptoms. That way we keep on coming back for more treatment for our symptoms. They aren't trying to get rid of our symptoms. They don't give a fuck. They're happy we have our symptoms. Without our symptoms, they wouldn't have a job. And all these educators and these fucking doctors and these fucking psychologists, they're the most egotistical, psychopathic motherfuckers you've ever met. Just like police officers are psychopathic cocksuckers and all your politicians. It's all that's what I'm trying to say. The whole system is psychopathic. The whole system is narcissistic. The whole system is the matrix system of control. I want to get more healthy again and stronger, but it's like this thing is hindering me because I'll start craving shit food and alcohol as a comfort. I'll have a few days where I fast and eat healthy, then something happens or I feel low or think about the kids a lot, and I eat some shit and have an alcoholic drink. I don't drink Sunday through Thursday, mainly on Fridays and Saturdays, but I know I'm using it as a crutch, and I really don't want to. I don't want to drink at all. Sometimes I have too much and feel crap the next day that it ruins my weekend and I don't want to do anything. And that is why we need to heal. That is why we need to detach. This tangled web that we live in, guys, I say this all the time. I try to explain this to Brandon all the time, and he understands it now. This tangled web we have created from all this trauma and abuse and these abusive systems and these toxic environments and everything else that we live in is like a tangled web. And we have to, this one can't be released till this one's released, and this one can't be released till this one's released, and they're all tied in. So at one point you need to face your childhood healing, but then you're going to have to face your food addiction. Then you're going to have to face your entertainment distraction. Then you're going to have to face your political addiction. Then you're going to have to face your educational addiction and indoctrination. Then you're going to have to face your work and money addictions. And it's all tied in. And then so you're healing each one a little at a time, and they're going to bounce. They're going to bounce off of each other. And you're going to have to, like right now, you're making such huge strides. What you're doing right now is going to open up that addiction, food addiction, and that alcohol addiction. Because now, instead of on your days off, you are going to have internal work that you can do on yourself that you're not going to be able to do when you're shoving poisons in your mouth. That you're not going to be able to do on a hangover. And now that you're going to start learning how to love yourself and what it means to take care of yourself, you are going to break free from those other addictions. So what you're doing right now, Sue, is you're loosening those binds. You're loosening everything. You're opening up these doors for your healing. And so this is how it's going to work. It's going to catapult you through your healing now. All these doors are going to open to you. You will be surprised. I mean, I'll be surprised if you ever drink again. It may happen, and don't beat yourself up if it does. But I'm just saying, I'd be surprised that you've been waiting for this healing for so long. And now that these doors are, and you're getting validation, and all these doors are being flung open for your healing, you have so much work ahead of you to do to process everything and to come to terms and face these things and be honest about them now, that drinking's probably going to be the last thing on your mind. And you'll start noticing every time you put toxic food, chemical food into your mouth, the way you feel afterwards, you're going to start realizing, because you're going to get so in tune with your physical body now, you're going to realize that you are intentionally consenting and poisoning your body. And then it's going to help you get off those poisons. Guys, this is all tied in together. But this is the work that needs to be done. So you took the steps, and it's coming. And I want to hear updates. I got to hear updates. You got to keep us updated. Everyone I know, friends and family, say the kids will come back to me when they mature, etc., but I don't know about that. I can't win against that narcissist. He brainwashed me for 38 years, and he's now done it to them. I just hope I can get stronger and stop crying over them as much. Exactly. Yep, and that's what it comes down to. You are already strong enough. You just need to recognize and accept how strong you are. And crying over them, you got to get over that. You got to cut those ties to them. Okay, so she sent me... So my email back to her was, should I read this? I guess I will. Good morning, Susan. Yes, I certainly would want you to know it's the right thing to do before consenting to a video. I only had time to read your first 2 paragraphs, and we'll have to finish reading later and reply. Just from the first 2 paragraphs, your ex-husband was a bully that needed a beating. The way you describe him and the fear and worry you still are dealing with is a perfect example of how these energy vampires can affect us our whole lives, even once we leave them and cut off communication, because they have programmed us to be under their control and regulate our behaviors. This is why healing is absolutely necessary to break free from their control and heal those parts of us. You mentioned in your other email that you were together for decades. That is decades of terrible abuse that need to be addressed and healed. You left a couple years ago, and he still is holding power over you. This will be the case until you heal. Once you heal, it will be the most amazing, freeing experience. It's a peace that passes all understanding. You touched on so many different aspects of abuse and trauma that would relate so well to others. I would highly suggest being courageous and allowing your truth to come out. It's a huge step in breaking the chains that a sadistic narcissist places on their victims. You've been suffering long enough, and it's time to take all that wasted energy, attention, and focus back and give it back to the most important person in your life, you. I will wait to hear back and reply further when I finish reading this email later. I've had other people hit me up in regards to issues with children, and I am about to make a video as this issue always heavy on me. Okay, and then her email back to me was, thanks, Richard, for your kind words, and I think you're right. I'm still letting him control me, so yes, you are more than welcome to share my story. There you go, guys. See how quickly this healing happens? If you are hesitating, if you are scared as death, if you are hiding from your narcissist, if you breaking away physically and you're just doing your best to hide from them, and they are still affecting you mentally, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, religiously, verbally, through your actions and everything else, email me. We'll have a conversation like this, and you'll see. Just look how quickly she was able to come to terms and realize what she needed to do. And now she's got these videos going up right now for her healing. Guys, you're going to be amazed when she updates on the progress that she makes in her healing. You're going to be amazed. It comes like this. I mean, you can see right here how quickly she realized what was good for her, because she's putting herself first, because she's putting her health and well-being over her own fear, anxiety, desires, and worries. I think that it's the right thing to do now, and I've got to stop letting him control me still, and that I don't have to be scared what he'll think of me anymore. Exactly. You've made me realize in your last email how much healing I have to go through still, but thanks so much for your thoughts and opinions. It really is helping me, and it's nice to hear other people's opinions. These aren't opinions, Sue. These are facts. Okay? You think they're my opinions because you have your own opinion. You know why you have your own opinion? Because you're in ego still. You're in survival mode. You're still living in that ego. You're still got attachments to all of these things. You're still unhealed from all these things. That's why you still think in your brain, in your mind control box, that these are opinions. These are not opinions. These are statements of truth. It's that simple. And I'm not lifting myself up and I have all the answers. You have these answers. You came to all these conclusions yourself. These are not opinions. We need to get that verbiage out of us. We need to get that programming crushed and come from the proper context of things. These are not opinions. These are statements of truth, fact, and reality. We've been living in these constructs and in these illusions and in these manipulations and lies and deceit for so long that we've been bamboozled to think that everybody's got an opinion about everything. That's not the case. We need to detach. We need to detach and get back to the truth in the fact and reality of things. We need to get back to what it means to be human. Human does not mean consuming and having 5,000, 50,000 different occupations out there, and everybody's so special and does their own little job to make fake money so that way we can spend it for fake processed food, for poisons to put in our mouths, that we need nutrition. And no, we need to break all these programmings. This is all tied in together. And it's all got to be faced and recognized and accepted as truth, fact, and reality. You can't say in one breath, oh yes, I'm powerful and strong and I have an eternal soul and everything I do matters, and then in the other hand go and be like, yeah, but I gotta eat poison food for my body. It keeps my body going. You gotta start using your brain, using the faculties of your mind, your critical thinking and understanding. Everything you think you know that you've been taught through indoctrination and society and your history and everything else is all a lie. It's a skewing, just like your narcissist did everything and all these little manipulative things and skewing of the truth to keep you under his thumb. That's how the matrix system with the governments and the education system and the teachers and the preachers and the doctors and the lawyers and all of this other horse shit keep you under their thumb. It's a system of enslavement. And we have to break free completely from the system of enslavement. And we can't do that plain thinking we can enjoy all the fun things that the system offers us while trying to heal and reclaim who we actually are. Because an eternal soul is not going to poison itself and allow itself to be abused and allow itself to consume poisons and allow itself to do things that it shouldn't and allow itself momentary moments of pleasure and that it's going to regret the next day. That's not what a soul does. That is all ego-based. That is all unnatural. I haven't had a chance to read or reply to the comments people left on YouTube yesterday yet, as my nephew has been with me today. He's like a son to me. I'm sorry my last email was so long, and I really do appreciate you taking the time to reply whenever you can. You asked on your channel how old my kids are. They are 23 and 19 now. They were 20 while he was 2 months off turning 21 and the other was 17. Basically, they stayed in the house with the ex. They said they didn't want to come and live with me at my mom's house. I naively thought I could live at the family house until we got divorced, but no, he made sure I didn't. Yeah. And again, Sue, I'm so sorry. I mean, I can only, that is immense amounts of almost 4 decades of suffering. And I'm so sorry you went through that. He even served the divorce papers on me first whilst I was still in the process of getting a solicitor. And even though it was me who instigated the split divorce, I was so upset. So yeah, he got the jump on you and because he found out from his sister-in-law that you wanted to divorce him. So he got the jump on you and had his solicitor serve you first the papers. Yeah, he's an asshole. And even though it was me, I was so upset when he did that because he'd taken away my power and control that I finally got for myself. Yeah, yeah. He wasn't letting that happen, was he? Fucking asshole. But he scurried off and got in there first just so he had control of the situation. He couldn't have me having some control, could he? No, he certainly couldn't. But it made me realize how controlling he was by doing that, and it made me realize that I'd done the right thing by finally leaving him. Guess what he put in the divorce papers? that I was a conspiracy theorist and that I basically changed personality and I was infatuated with conspiracy and people on Twitter. Yeah, they make you look crazy. Yeah. And they see, that's what I'm trying to say. The whole law system and the judicial system and all that bullshit, it all is there for people like him to benefit from, because they were the ones that came up with the whole conspiracy theory. So he puts that on the paperwork, and then everybody who comes to you automatically goes, oh, she's fucking out of her goddamn mind. And they don't believe a word you say. So the whole system's corrupt, guys. I just shows you how deranged he was, a very jealous man, and I really do detest him. I've wished so many times that he'll die soon. Yeah, and that's a natural feeling. I mean, you know, somebody who preyed on you for almost 40 years, yeah, I'd wish they were dead too. So basically, he forced me out of the house and poisoned the kids against me. He made my life hell during the divorce, accused me of stealing things from the house. I only took the things that were mine and that I'd bought. He dragged the divorce out for 1.5 years to make me suffer. Yeah, yep. And it cost me over 16,000 euros or liras or whatever that is. My family members lent me every penny, else I wouldn't have been able to get the divorce. Now, I will touch on this. You know, I'm sure your family's kind people, but, you know, just make sure that you don't feel so obligated and like bad and like constantly apologizing to your family. You know what I mean? Like, we got to recognize who we are. We can't be subservient to people. We can't allow people to put us under their thumb. Thank them for what they did and then take your responsibility and pay them back. And it's as simple as that. That's simple. Not, oh, I'm forever indebted to you. You helped me in my time of need, and I never could have done it without you. And no, because you are just, that is the victim mentality where you are going to make yourself susceptible to being placed under other people's thumbs, other narcissists' thumbs. And it might not be your family members, but other people will see that you're acting like that out in the world, whether at your job or somewhere where you shop at. And some other narcissists will see that and they're looking for a prey, and they're going to fucking pounce on you, and they're going to put you under their thumb and control you. So we have to heal. We have to reclaim our authority. We were together from I was 14 until 52 years old, 38 years together, and he showed his true colors. I just hope the kids will see them one day. They know what he's like, so I don't get why they don't want me anymore. Anyway, I have to think about myself now, like you and a lot of people keep telling me. Yep, that's the only person you should be thinking about, Sue. That is the only person you should be thinking about is yourself. Nobody, nothing else matters outside yourself, and that goes for every single one of us. We need to quit placing our attention and focus on anything, whether it's our, you know, if you have young kids still living at home, yes, that is a balance. That's why I started that Healing with Children series, and we're going through, you know, how to process all those things. But other than that, if you have adult kids, if your kids are estranged from you, whatever else, we should not be, if we are not healed, we should not be, our focus should not be on anybody or anything else in this world. Period. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We need to focus on ourselves and do our healing. That is our personal responsibility. Anytime we quit doing our healing and start focusing on things outside of ourselves, we need to be honest and truthful with ourselves and realize that that is nothing but distraction. We need to quit lying to ourselves and playing games and just be truthful and recognize that anytime we are not focused on our healing until we are healed, and focus on detaching until we're detached, that everything else, anytime we're doing something other than that, and that our focus is on our healing, that it is distraction. And it's okay. We need crutches. We've been addicted to all these things. We've been programmed and indoctrinated and bamboozled our whole life into thinking we need these things. It's from, you know, whether it's you're 20 years old, whether you're 30 years old, 40, 50, 60, however long, that's how many years that you've been running under that program. So it's going to take a while. It takes time. It takes effort. It doesn't take decades to do this. It doesn't take several years. If you are committed and focusing, then this will only take you, 2-3 years, tops, to be able to detach. Because that's what all these videos are here for that I have on these two channels, is to show you guys this process. I have documented for the past 2 years how I have been detaching and healing. It's all there. And now we got the Fundamental Foundations for Freedom series I have on this channel. We have the Healing with Children series on this channel, and now the Survivor series on this channel. So we have everything you need to get validation on. We need to get back in touch with our intuition and stop going outside ourselves to experts for answers and thinking that the knowledge and the truth is out there. It's not out there. Nothing is out there but confusion. We have to go inside. So Sue, I just want to thank you for sharing, for having the courage and being so honest in such a terrible suffering and pain that you went through for almost 40 years. I can only imagine the healing that this is going to bring, the strength that this is going to give you, the realization that of things, of the truth that's going to come to you now, and the power that you're going to feel and the peace that's going to be coming to you soon. Healing is a long journey. It's going to take you a while. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of effort on your part. It's going to take a lot of discipline, courage, and honesty still from here on out. You just have to keep on going and, be easy on yourself at the same time. Use your crutches, but recognize they're crutches. And when you're healed and you don't need those crutches anymore, throw your crutch away like it was never there. But yeah, I'm very humbled that you trust us, this community here, and whoever, to listen to your story. I encourage everybody to not leave your words of encouragement so much for her, but to, just let her know that you can relate, because that's all we need to know, is that we aren't alone, that our suffering, our stories of suffering and pain and the things we went through are relatable to other people, that we aren't the only ones. So Sue, I'm looking forward to, your updates. Please, feel free to comment, feel free to email Sue, in no rush. There's no obligation here for anything. You have no obligation to anybody for anything here. Take your time. All your time should be spent for yourself, recuperating. This is really going to be, it's going to bring your energy levels up, and then your energy levels are going to come crashing, because this is a lot to come to terms with. This is a lot to face, and it drains you. It's extremely draining. So, just be aware of that, you will have highs and lows out of here, and just try to ride everything on a nice even keel. Don't allow yourself to get all excited and pumped up and then go into a depression. And then, you don't want to do that. You want to learn how to keep yourself on an even keel with things and take them as they come, and, just be able to regulate, how much you can take at a time, and all of those things. So be easy on yourself, and while at the same time, it's a balancing act, being easy on yourself, but at the same time being disciplined. So yeah, kudos to you. I mean, you already showed how much you grew and how much you were healing just by, in those few emails together, how far you had come. And the fact of the hesitation from not wanting to share at first to 2 emails later saying, yes, this is the right thing to do. So you can see, how much progress already. And so, yeah, I wish you the best. Thank you so much for sharing, from one human to another. I love you. Remember to keep the truth out in front of you at all times. Let that be your guiding light. And take care of yourself, because nobody else will.